As we were just saying, happy 100th birthday to us. Or not.
Yay! We're officially 100 years old now. Yeah.
No, we've been joking about doing our first 100 episode in the age of 100. So we still have some time to go, but if we even come to that threshold of 500 episodes by 100 years old, it's not looking great at our record.
Where did I put my brain again, Yvonne? I do think I misplaced it on the toaster earlier.
If we're 100 years old, we probably don't have a toaster anymore. Everything is AI controlled.
Oh,
That
man,
is a horrible situation.
Yeah, but they're not going to do it well. Those toasters are probably going to burn everything.
And no, it's a toaster for the house.
Wait, what do you mean for the house? The house is burning?
Well, it's warming up the entire house, not just the toast is probably staying cold.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But that's a horrible thought because that means we are bread.
True. The best. Yeah, you go on.
Yeah, where's the jam? That's a terrifying thought.
Yeah. The best toaster that I've ever seen actually is in Scotland with the mother of my aunt. She has one that you don't press or anything. It's not even looking like a toaster. It's part of the oven where above you have the oven in the bottom, then there's the cooking field over it. And then right on top of it all, on your high eyesight, there's an area you can move out like the plates in the oven, and you can put your toast there, and then you move it in, and then the whole thing makes a toast. But it actually works. It's not jumping out of you. It's I've never seen it since. It's just with her, but I find it absolutely fascinating.
Oh, so it's like a futuristic toaster.
No, it's very old school.
Oh,
the whole thing looks very old school. I think the jump scare came after because maybe it was some Victorian who thought, oh, let's invent something that actually looks like a ghost scare, and then came the toaster.
They named it wrong, obviously.
Maybe ghost scare had a copyright.
Maybe. I mean, it would have been a little bit more exciting if it was like, oh, the what would we call it? The jumperoo, or I don't know, like a kangaroo or whatever.
Yeah, that sounded a lot like something Australian inspired.
Something that rhymes with jump. I don't know. Gosh, now it's gonna make me hungry.
Oh.
So it's been like how many months?
4 months. It was 4 months since the last episode. We are now at number 5.
Yeah, number 5. But that's an achievement, right? Number 5 already.
Yeah. And hopefully we can do a few more this year. And I mean,
true.
We have already been productive this year.
Oh yeah.
And I think if we stay at it, we can work something out that things are getting in a bit of a better habit and shape this year.
True. And sorry, a little off topic, but it's funny that I'm just looking at each of these episodes and each one is like an hour, 2 hours, and then suddenly episode 4 is like 30 minutes.
Yeah, but we wanted to keep it more short. It was special on Halloween, and I think it's also better for us if we just do it like a half an hour and not, because the editing for you, if it's so long, it's also not so much fun.
True, that might be one of them. It's like me on the floor, flailing. So yeah, that's something. So, but that's also, it's like succinct and easy to digest and understand and listen to us too. So it's a bit of both, I think.
Yeah.
With that said, I think we have been definitely going through some real progress, and we are very proud of each other regarding
We're
Circus.
Not proud of you hiding progress from us, but yeah.
I didn't mean to hide it. It's more of a thought process anyway at the end of the day
Mm-hmm.
because,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you know. Mm.
You know what I'm talking about, and also that's a good point to switch over to Fatal, because we had
Uh-huh.
someone asking us more information on it. And
True.
yeah, you've been hiding Fatal process from me, and I'm not recovered from that.
It's still in progress though. I still haven't finished it, you know. But yeah, so did we want to introduce that question?
It wasn't sent to us. It was just because someone know me personally. They asked.
Oh yeah, true, true, true. So the question was what exactly is fatal from my POV? Was that right? Am I getting it right?
Yeah, because I just
Okay.
said okay. Because I was asked what do you write, because this is a friend of mine, so she knows about the progress that the stuff, the project that I write about. You have to cut those words out. um, and then I told her, "What do you write?" And I said, "It's more period." I didn't precisely say Victorian, but I could have. And then I said it's with boys, and it's boys' love almost, and or I don't know how you word it for specific hashtags and that. I didn't say too much of the story, so I didn't give away that it's oof. So
That's
uh,
fine.
but just that, just little bit already said, "Ooh, yeah, that could be up my alley." So yeah,
Oh.
but I didn't want. The thing is, I'm someone who doesn't give away a lot, and I know that is not good if you try to get some readers in. The thing is, in the past, I have switched so many projects, and I wanted, and I had so many dates of, oh, now we're publishing something this year in a few months, and then it
Hmm.
didn't happen. And the one most upset about this was me, because I put so much pressure on me. And now, since I have the schedule from last year, I'm
Hmm.
sticking to it, and I'm not giving away so much, so that I don't have to disappoint someone else, and by disappointing someone else, also disappointing me. So then I
Hmm.
didn't want to put any pressure on you, and I didn't give so many details away from you. And then you come on Instagram and see, oh, let me just give a major plot point just because I'm stuck. And I'm like, what is she doing?
I'm totally fine. Like, to be honest, like, it's not concrete yet anyway. So, if it's
Yeah.
concrete, then I would really be very hush hush about it. But when it
Mm,
comes to like small little bits and pieces, like, oh, you know, this is the villainess and this is what it is, I actually kind of am okay with getting feedback. And even if it's like
yeah.
criticism or anything, it's actually helpful, especially if I'm stuck. So, I tend
Mm.
to be okay with that.
It's also probably nicer for the reader to know what things are coming. I just I try to keep it now a bit more hush hush until I actually know, okay, this thing is coming, this thing is shaped as it is, and yeah, but those are personal preferences, and
Yeah.
you're doing something right, because you have a lot more engagement. I always notice that when you suddenly copy me into something, then suddenly, oh, I get more engagement because suddenly someone from Anna is interested in me.
Oh, that's not true. I'm sure a lot of people are actually engaged with what you're posting too, so that's definitely not true.
You never know with these. You never know with these things. You cannot say.
Yeah.
It's just a guessing game with that algorithm and all. I love that at the same time I'm staring on my notepad and it's just highlighting the word unsure. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a relationship with God almost. Like you don't know what you're gonna get for
Mm,
all of these like engagement situations. I feel like just do what you need to do and then see if it's something that people like. But
mm,
yeah, if you start to worry too much about that, then you actually kind of get unfocused on what you really need to do. So it's a bit of both, really, isn't it?
Mm.
Anyway, but that's just me. And I totally get where you're coming from too, where essentially you don't really mention anything. So that's totally fine because I think that adds up to the mystery of what exactly you want to put out into the world too.
Mm.
It's fun, I think, that way too. The mystery is fun.
Mm.
With that said, though, sorry, I forgot what we were talking about.
Fatal.
Yeah, right. Okay. Uh, in my words, and I'm not really a very good summarizer, so let me see if I can pinpoint some areas that are not going to be a huge spoiler. Haha. uh, it pretty much focuses on a few genre pointers where essentially it's a historical, although it's an alternate historical fiction. It's The location is generally Victorian era esque, and there's two main characters, and the actual book is written from first person point of view. So each chapter is pretty much going to be about uh, each of these characters feeling what they're feeling and expressing what they're expressing, I guess.
Mm.
And you get to see not just from one point of view, but from several points of view. So I figured that might be fun because I've always enjoyed kind of books that give you more than one point of view almost. It could be distracting, but I always thought it was fun. And the storyline itself is it starts off with the first main character uh essentially dying and he turns into a ghost. And then years later, there's another main character, his love interest, pretty much, and he's a creator slash inventor. And the ghost is also a creator slash inventor, but he died really early, so he's rather young. And the other main character is also the same age esque. And this other main character who's alive, he he essentially buys this house that the former owner, or rather the main character, died in. And that's where the story starts off with the usual, oh, one guy dies, you adopt the other house, you find another guy. Yay.
And then it's a Hallmark movie. No, it's not.
Yeah. Well, hopefully. Well, I don't know. Fingers crossed. But for now, yeah, that's where the story starts off with, and then
Mm.
it kind of delves into more the romance part and also the mystery of why he may have died, how, and then there's a few different elements like villains as well that comes up. There's a villainess, there's a villain, and these two characters essentially also have point of views that you can look into as well. Not look into, read into as well. So there are
Mm-hmm.
some chapters that are divided where essentially you can actually look at both the protagonist's point of view and also the antagonist's point of view. So yeah, I shall leave it off there. And there is a good, interesting climax that I hope would be really enticing. And there's going to be inventions, adventurous slash mysterious kind of hopefully problem solving. And then there's a bunch of romance. But yeah, that's pretty much what the story is about. And I think if I say anything more, it's going to spoil everything. So let me
No.
leave it off there. But for those who may have been following my Instagram, I think they may have noticed a few little points that might connect to the story once it's published, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But that's only if they notice it. And yeah, if they didn't, then it is what it is. I think dropping hints is always fun.
And as we noticed, you have a violin now. I'm totally jumping point here. But
Yeah.
you asked me earlier a question that I still have to get an answer to. But let me ask you, if you managed, and I have no doubt you will, but when you
Hmm.
managed to learn the violin, what would be a song? And I assume that it might be something classic with a period area, but it can also be something totally different. But what would be a song that you would like to learn that reminds you of Fable?
Hmm. That is a very difficult question, I think. Thanks for asking. I don't actually know. Because I'm gonna be honest, the songs that I want to play on the violin right now are probably more modern, I think. So I'm actually not really sure. Let me leave it off there. I don't know if that's a particularly interesting answer.
Well, maybe you haven't found the right song yet, or maybe you first have to learn.
Yeah, I think I need to learn it too. But there's also the part where the main reason why, not main reason, but one of the main reasons why I got a violin was generally because I thought it was interesting how sound travels and how how it's such a delicate instrument and the way you like interact with it, you can actually like it's just interesting how like the sound itself has like hertzes and stuff and I don't know, I'm just mumbo jumbling right now, but I think it's interesting because sound and music is kind of part of the storytelling. So I figured it would actually work well for me to actually understand it physically as well as writing
Mm.
about it, is my general takeaway from getting a violin too.
No, okay.
We'll see though. I think it's gonna take me a while to master it, but fingers crossed. It'll be fun.
Good things seem to take time.
Oh yeah, yeah. I actually wouldn't mind taking time on this one. It would be nice to be able to master it quickly, but I think if that happens, I would feel almost like I'm cheating myself in
Mm.
some ways. So I'd rather take time to do this one because I feel like an old person anyway. So, so not an old person, more like an old soul
Yeah,
who
I know
wants to
what you
actually
mean.
do it. Yeah, yeah. What about you? Throwing that question back at you, if you have like a song that connects with the stories that you're writing right now, what would it be?
So right now, the stories right now. Okay.
Hmm. I just threw it right back at you. Sorry. I don't know
No,
if you were
no, no.
prepared.
That's fine.
Judge.
I strike out the idea of the violin because, as I mentioned yesterday, I have a violin, but I am terrible with music, which is one reason why I got it because um, I admire my sisters, both of them, for being able to learn so many instruments. Both of them are playing like or could play 3 to 4 instruments. One of them is still playing and constantly getting something new, and it's so fantastic that they can do that. And meanwhile, I cannot even read sheet music.
I mean, I'm
uh,
still at that stage as well, to be frankly honest. So,
so that's all. So I got a guitar one time and said, okay, I want to learn it now. But then my sister, in a very quick time, got so good, lightning speed and everything, how she learned that. I was like, okay, I'm a bit discouraged, Put it all away again.
oh,
At times I got it out and tried, and the things that I did learn, I could do, but then then I could go faster than that or could progress from there. And so during Corona, I got the violin and I got a keyboard, and
hmm,
with the keyboard, it actually then showed me, okay, this is a way how I can learn the sheet music. I will never be able
hmm,
to play a song just from my head. That just isn't working because
hmm.
I know that I'm not musically gifted, and but it's nice to learn something and to challenge my brain a bit.
I'm not musically gifted either, so yeah, we're on the same Titanic boat.
Yeah, but I sometimes get the keyboard out and then I try something and I notice that I do make progress. So I hope that with the other instruments, I'm coming back to them and I stop playing again.
I think that's the
Um,
main thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what songs would I play with the projects right now? For that, you would need to know what projects I'm on right now, because
Yeah, good
it
point.
wouldn't be the ones that you know that I'm always talking about because they are currently on hold.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true. I did throw
because
that ball quite a bit, didn't I? Donk.
um, because if we would talk about Moira or these things, then it's always okay. Is it for the Americans? Is it for the French or the Scottish ones? And right now, I'm not working on them. Was last year being so stressful and me trying to catch up to something that just didn't work out, I cut it all down to a bare minimum. I'm doing comics this year, and
Mm.
while drawing them, I have been listening to some anime music, but it was more into getting into how to draw a specific style. Um,
Mm.
one of the comics is set in Edinburgh. One of
Mhm.
them is set in a fantastical underworld sea. So it's
Right.
difficult how to pick some songs for it. For the Scottish one, it should be easier because I know the story for so long. Oh no, I do know. It's just
Ooh.
so there's a song for one of the characters that is in the comics that is a lullaby from Scotland.
Mm.
And but if I tell you the name of that lullaby, it gives away so much for that character, why he's named this way, what his character traits are. It would give so much away. So
Okay.
let's put in a placeholder that lullaby from Brave instead.
Okay. Maybe we can skip then if that's the case, because we don't
And
want to give away too much.
yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
And was the other one was the underwater? I haven't really found the music for it yet. It's difficult.
Hmm.
Because I try to put some instrumental songs on
Hmm.
when I write when I write when but I haven't really found the music for the comics.
Hmm.
Um, maybe it's because at the sketching stages I was quicker with them, and then you don't need to sit down for so long. That said,
Hmm.
when I color them, I do sit down and I take my time, and it's taking longer.
Right.
But I haven't found the music for it yet. I don't even know if I will because I am half through the stages already, and I'm halfway through stage 3 as well. So, do you know what I mean with the stages? Shall I explain it?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so you have over the years found a drawing style for you, which is so great, and you know that I really like it because I asked you to do my Mr. Henderson for a short story.
Which I am forever grateful for. Thank you so much, as always. You're
Oh
really
no, no, no! I
sweet.
thank you because it was a sweet gift then for the readers as well, and just to say, oh look,
Oh.
my friend is so talented, and I can share that with all of you. That was amazing. Maybe we do that again.
Oh.
uh,
Thank you.
but now, and I always teased you that you should do a comic, and I'm so proud that you're trying that now. And of course, you're not just trying; you're succeeding in this. Like I'm looking at a comic, and I'm thinking about how many pages do I do that I can still manage, and then you are there
Oh.
letting the story flow, and I'm like, yes, my comic has no place of existing when I look at just the sketches that I was doing. But anyway,
Oh, no, that's totally not true.
I
Seriously, I think the progress you're making is incredible. That's actually absolutely incredible.
well, I sat down and I said, okay, these are how many pages I wanted to have, and then I
Hmm.
broke it down and always divided it by two to get a lower number for just a testing phase. So I have 4 stages. What the very first one was very simple style art, which I'm actually going to share on Patreon this month with some on my Patreon was one tier. So, but that's very simple. It's just black and white, and just to get myself to sit there and consider making a comic. That was that stage. And also to maybe figure out, okay, here some specific looks that I can transfer into the other comics. Like one character has glasses, and so he has to keep his glasses for the whole time. Or the underwater one is actually a prequel to a novel series, but because it has mermaids, I wanted to show what the different mermaids looks like. So for that I have to draw them, and I had to figure out why are they all different? Did I want to show? So then I had to make a map of how many different tails there are, and these things. And then in the next stage I added some colors and some more characteristics in the faces. And then currently I'm on stage 3, where I'm adding a new art craft, like something different, not just the pencils. And this third stage will actually, well, I hope so, will be the official release version. And then I'll be doing a 4th stage, which would be my dream release. But as I'm drawing extra people, I cannot release that. So it's going to be a limited one. Yeah, but that would be the stage how I would want it to be, because that is the stage that is also when I draw real people. That is what I'm more comfortable with. I'm not so comfortable with drawing the comic styles, because I have always been struggling with that. I always find this fascinating. I read comics, I read mangas, and I love that so much talent goes into that. Both the writers, the editors, the artists, so much goes into that preparation wise, storytelling, and then getting it all together. And but I have tried this so many times, and it just doesn't look like them what I wanted them to be looking like. So I feel a bit fragile when I'm on these stages. And then, but at the same time, this is probably what is most interesting for the readers, to see it that way. And because the real people, the faces I'll be working with, would not be happy with it.
Oh, I mean, I think, yeah, the process itself is so interesting, and also what's the right word? Difficult too.
Yeah.
So I totally get it, like where you're coming from, and I find that it's interesting how you do it too. Versus me, I just jumped right into it, and I'm gonna be honest, I have stopped a little bit because I needed to actually find the story now, which is interesting because I had this first initial image in my head where I wanted to really just draw it out, and then I've come to a point where I need to actually sit down and think about the stages versus for yourself, you actually thought about the stages and then you've actually started drawing it. So it's really a different style.
But not all of them have great stories. Some is just, okay, look at the progress of how we make things. And hopefully at the end of it, we have a real story.
Oh, but you're still trying it out and working things out. So it doesn't need to be a great story. It could just be a story that you like that you hope other people might enjoy as well.
Yeah. Well, there is actually a story as well, which is very important to me, and which made me want to try all these things. But yeah, we're coming to that.
Exactly. Exactly. I think you're at like the stage where essentially you're trying things out, feeling them out, trying to understand what's right for you. So I think that's everything. And I'm super proud of you for doing that
Oh,
for
thank
yourself
you. Thank
and for everyone else. Yeah, too. Everyone's on for the ride. So we're essentially very lucky to have you.
you. And I think by next year we have something from everyone, and everyone can enjoy stuff,
Yeah, for sure.
both from our own stuff and from something together.
We have made a lot of good progress with Circus, so
Yes.
I'm very proud of that too.
Yes.
And it's been interesting, this process too.
It's interesting that both of us are doing it quite the opposite of what we usually do. Like when I write something, I write it chronologically. And now
Mm,
I'm jumping around and working at the end of a story. Well, we still haven't figured the whole first act out.
mm,
And you are usually one who jumps around a lot, writes the scenes out of order, and just do what you like. And now you try to like
exactly.
close the holes that we left everywhere.
I mean, I am jumping around a little bit, but I think it's maybe the style of the actual timeline of the story itself too, right?
Mm,
I think that's how I'm seeing it with this particular writing for Circus, where essentially it starts off with the main characters being young and then going through adolescence and then teenagers, etc., and then eventually becoming adults. So that's been interesting, and for me, it's been, I don't know, it's like finding out someone when I'm writing a particular part chronologically.
yeah.
And I also understand why you're writing the ending as well, though. I totally get it. Because
We
I'm
can
literally
say
one of those people
I'm
who jumps
struggling
around.
to get to know them when they were children. I'm struggling with that.
Which is honest, and I totally get it because I'm kind of the same. I'm going through the mud, trying to understand them, digging around, trying to find the fossil that they are, these characters that they are. So I totally get it. And chipping away really, really at the marble to find the right part of the gold, I think, to sprinkle on the actual chapters. And
Oh,
each time I seem to find them, so that's been interesting too.
yeah, you're doing so great. It's marvelous what you write.
Aw, you
I'm
are
always in
too.
awe.
I love the like the last time when we were going through our writing process, we were essentially writing two different parts, and I love what you were writing at the time. I can't share it here, unfortunately, but yeah, but it's really good. It's really good. So yeah, like the way you write too, it's so eloquent and
Oh.
it's really good. So everyone,
We will see if it survives the editing phase.
that's true, but that could be said for every single word that I wrote last time too. So but hopefully it survives most of it. And then by the time we're essentially 150 years old, this book would be out by then. But
We hope a bit earlier, but
hopefully
we cannot
earlier than
promise
that.
anything.
All right, we're off to the circus.
Bye.
Bye.